Now, we all knew that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was a bad movie, but we didn't realize how bad things were because it ended up killing two prominent Hollywood careers. Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly have both retired from acting. Now, I couldn't really back up the Evangeline Lilly claim, but the Michael Douglas one, oh yeah, that's very true. But okay, the rot is actually even larger than that because, yeah, Douglas and Lilly have retired, but Jonathan Majors, I mean, like, when was the last time we seen him on the big screen? Well, depending on how you were watching some of that trial coverage, it could have been him, running away from his spastic girlfriend. But that's another career that was destroyed by the MCU. And Evangeline Lilly, like, last time she was seen was at the end of May with a bloodied face, but somehow a better haircut that she was sporting at the beginning of 2023, so shout out to her for taking some time to, I guess she's going to be focusing on her health because the actress says that she has experienced unexplained blackouts for years, but suspects that they are from her body checking out when she is overwhelmed. Which is why being on a modern Marvel project, yeah, it's probably not something that's terribly good for your health. Which is why, yeah, Michael Douglas at 80. Like, okay, Kirk Douglas is old man, he did successfully get into the triple-digit club, so round of applause for that one, but he's kind of missing the point on this one. Michael Douglas has no intention of returning to acting, says the U.S. idealism does not exist now, and the people are going into politics to make money. It's so hilarious, right? Because this is obviously framed under the specter of the Orange Man, but hey, Mike, why didn't you want to say this during the time of, Speaker Pelosi, who had just came and she was a humble public servant coming out of San Francisco, a life of self-enrichment in California state legislation legislature. There we go, that's proper terminology. And then went on to become one of the most successful stock traders in all time while serving the American people in the federal House of Representatives. He didn't want to say that then. He also didn't want to say that 50 years of Biden service. It didn't just, he didn't get into politics to make money for himself. He also did that for the, the cause of his family. And it's so funny. I just, maybe I'm not signed up to any of the email notifications. I'm not any of the Hunter Biden roles for when his next art gallery where he can sell a piece of art for $500,000. I haven't got any of those notifications ever since Biden left the White House. It's very interesting how all of a sudden they want to come out and say, that billionaire that got into politics that has actually, for the first time in generations, the first politician to leave the White House in a less steady financial position than he entered it in. Yeah, no, he's the one who's going into politics to make money. All right then, and hey, here's the thing. I like Michael Douglas, okay? He's exceptionally talented, and this is just another one of those things where it's like, wow, the recognizable names in Hollywood, legitimate movie stars. Yeah, we're very much getting out of that era, hey? But Michael Douglas, who is at the film festival, okay, to present a newly restored print of Milos Forman's classic One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, okay, spoke at a festival as his fears for democracy in the U.S. under the Trump administration. Oh, go to hell. When asked at a press conference about the state of politics in his home country, the Oscar winner said that the nation is currently flirting with autocracy. Yeah, hilarious. Remind me again, who was the party who just appointed the nominee without going through a proper primary? But yeah, it's the other side of the aisle that's flirting with autocracy. Blow it out your ass, Mike. I look at it generally as the fact of how precious democracy is. Yeah, it's so precious that your home country is a constitutional republic, of how vulnerable it is and how it always has to be protected. Yeah, so protected, in fact, that you need to fortify it in 2020. I hope that what we're struggling with right now is a reminder of all the hard work the Czechs did when gaining their freedom and independence. Oh my God, it's just whenever I see dumb shit like this is why, taking political advice from actors is a fool's folly. But anyways, politics now seems to be for profit. Now it does. Oh my God, is he also having his epiphany? Or it's like, oh man, it's not left versus right, man. It's a big uniparty over the top. Okay, you could vote one way or you could vote another way, but it doesn't really much matter because they all answer to the same master. God, you're 80 and you're just coming to this conclusion. Fucking whatever, man. Thanks for falling down, but you should have stayed there. Money has entered the democracy as a profit center. People are going into politics now to make money. We maintained an idealism in the United States, which does not exist now. Yeah, exactly. Because which one was the president who signed the executive order to ban lobbying. Which one was that? Anyways, the actor wrapped his comments by saying he prefers not to go into much detail as the news speaks for itself. Yeah, exactly. I don't have any, independent thoughts for myself, but I've seen something on MSNBC and they're like, Orange Man bad. And it's like, you know what? He's right, because greed is good. And I said that in a film like 40 years ago. So that must be it, because they say that he's greedy and I said that greed is good and I was the bad guy in that film. I myself am worried. I'm nervous, and I think it's all of our responsibilities to look out for ourselves. No, that I can agree on, okay? Because here's the thing. For all of the people that are big butthurt about, the big revelation that, oh my God, a bunch of people that are in Washington, D.C. didn't want to throw each other under the bus by releasing a list that's probably there. Oh my God, something that has been, bantied about in those, circles for the better part of 2 decades, and a clientele book that obviously got passed off to another rapper that recently got off with an incredibly light sentence. Oh my God, they didn't want to come out with a bunch of names for people to, realize how deep the corruption in Washington, D.C. runs. Oh no, they didn't release that, and now all of a sudden they're all big shook by this. This is why getting excited about all of that stuff, I always thought that it was silly to begin with. Okay, the names are out there. Shout out Ryan Dawson. Okay, he's got the entire fucking list that's out there. If you really want to go see it, they're out there. It's just not the flashy names that you're looking for. It's just the real scumbags that are out there running in these circles, making sure that they run very smoothly on the tight asses of the most vulnerable in society. If you want to get outraged about some real corrupt shit that's going on out there, it's very easy to find. But no. You just want to see some names that you recognize. I want to see Hillary Clinton do the perp walk. Lock her up. Bill Clinton was on the Lolita Express 26 different times. What would you actually do with that information? Nothing, because you just want to see sensationalist shit in the fucking headlines. You want to be about as informed on this shit as Michael Douglas is, an 80-year-old doddering dickhead who's fucking survived cancer, thank God, because he was eating out old stanky box. Another reason you should never be doing that fucking horrific practice. Anyways, back to talking about how horrific the MCU is that they're killing off careers. Let's talk about somebody who peered behind the curtain and realized that it's probably not worth it if we're going to keep it a buck, because this is the second time in about as many weeks that we're talking about Mahershala Ali, how he is, hey man, I want to go ahead and I want to work with Marvel, man. Like, oh hey, all they need to do is call. I'm ready to go. But now all of a sudden, after the success of Jurassic World Rebirth, all of a sudden he's leave me out of it when asked about Marvel's Blade reboot. How the turntables have turned tables. Let's take a look at this. Mahershala Ali is done talking about Blade. That's mostly because Disney is also very much done talking about Blade, because we've heard about this time and time again that that reboot's done. Like, okay, they've pretty much just silently pushed it off, because recently, oh God, what was it, 5 years? Somebody released Phase 6 for Marvel, and Blade once again nowhere on there at all whatsoever. Okay, like Blade might end up being a part of the the reboot, the post Secret Wars MCU, whatever that looks like, in a mix or in a mist, all of the different X-Men projects that are also being kicked around as well. But it's becoming clearly obvious that Marvel is the place where, unless they're willing to back up a Brinks truck to your house, actors are becoming a little bit more trepidatious to signing on to the sputtering MCU money train. But while appearing on Vogue's Off the Cuff alongside his Jurassic World Rebirth co-stars Scarlett, the highest earning actress or actor rather of all time, full stop, sure thing, Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. Ali dodged the question when Bailey was asked how many Marvel films they both starred in. Leave me out of it. Ali joked, that's a Scarlett question. You don't know Jonathan Bailey and anything? Probably he was in the background. Literally everybody's been in one. Well, there's one that we're very excited about, Bailey quipped back, referencing Ali's long-delayed Blade reboot. Although the feature comic book adaptation about the daywalking vampire has been in production limbo for the past 6 years, Ali recently told Variety he remains ready to take the titular role. Call Marvel, he said at the New York premiere of Jurassic World Rebirth. Rebirth rather. I'm ready. Let them know I'm ready. First announced, yes, in 2019. Blade is a simple concept that is incapable of being brought back to the silver screen, because they're figuring, how many black women do we need to insert into this Blade movie in order to appease the freak activists that we have staffed our halls with? How many dinner scenes where we talk about feelings of a daywalker do we need to have in this film in order to make it work and appeal to all of the insufferable white women that we have on our board of directors. It's a goddamn shame, because instead of being emasculated in a Blade film, Mahershala Ali has to be emasculated in a Jurassic World movie. I don't know what fate is worse, but at this point in time, he's getting paid regardless, and the only people that these terrible decisions are being taken out on is the audience and people with good taste. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo, which to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.